Hello, everyone. My name is Lily.
My name is Mia. We are here today with Sarah Kinsley for KCR College Radio.
She just came out with a new EP called Fleeting and is going on tour with a stop here in San Diego on April 1st at the Music Box in downtown San Diego.
Sarah, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Yeah, that sounds great. I am an artist based in Brooklyn, in New York. I've been making music for probably 5 or 6 years now, which has been really incredible. And I'm on my second sort of big headline tour across North America and the UK right now.
Um, well, the first thing I would love to know is if you could describe your new EP, Fleeting, in 3 words, what do you think they would be?
Um, I would definitely say like shimmering. It's a very like nighttime
Mhm.
landscape sound to me. I would say shimmering. I'd also say indigo, and um, I think I would say like transparent or just very clear. It's definitely the most honest of
Mhm.
my work so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of honesty, I feel like when I was listening to both your EPs, Ascension and Fleeting, I noticed there was like pretty different sounds. It felt like Fleeting had a newfound energy and maturity and like you said, honesty. Would you say you feel this way too, or was there anything different about the recording or writing process between the two EPs?
Yeah, I mean, Fleeting and Ascension are definitely two of my most vulnerable like EPs and records and things like that. They both had a lot of sort of self-production involvement where I was just like dreaming up a lot of the songs really early on by myself, and it was a really insular process. But I definitely think that Fleeting, the production to me is just so much further along than where I was production wise on Ascension. Like Ascension was a sort of more like childlike state where I feel like Fleeting was like we just went really hard on like getting the sounds to be quite perfect or getting them to like a really sort of developed place, which I loved doing. Um, and this EP to me is just like it's slightly more polished or like bold, I think, because of that.
Perfect. So, your last album, Escaper, got its very own tour in 2024 and 2025. Does this tour with Fleeting feel different for you compared to the Escaper era in terms of the energy you're bringing to the performance? And if so, what way?
I definitely think so. I mean, first of all, it's like much bigger shows, which has been like a crazy thing for me to experience. But also, just the set length is longer. It's just like a more serious show. But yeah, we're just kind of doing it. Like, we're experimenting a lot more. We're playing songs very differently than how they sound on the records and things like that. So there's just, I don't know, more excitement, more playing, like just being playful and experimenting. There's just more, I don't know, more freedom maybe
Hmm.
within the set. I think that's just coming from like me now having much more experience, but just yeah, trying to do things really differently and like challenging myself in that way.
I love that. Diving deeper into like each song in specific. In your song Reverie, which is my personal favorite off of Fleeting, you sing, "How could I pretend that you'd want me? How could I believe what you told me?" These lyrics pose real questions about the thin line between compromise and self-sacrifice in a relationship. Tell me more about this bridge. What inspired these lyrics and the feelings that you're speaking on in this song?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like really trying to hone in on these feelings of unreciprocated romanticism, which I think are like, I think unreciprocated love is like one of the worst feelings and experiences you can go through where um, you just feel so much self shame or self pity or questioning yourself in your own mind. Um, and I think the feeling that I was trying to evoke and the thing I was trying to get through in Reverie was just like this internal battle where when you really fall for someone but it's unreciprocated, you're like, how is it possible that like I led myself to this place? How is it possible that I somehow, I don't know, maybe projected a fantasy for myself to enter into, for myself to be a part of, And I was just feeling so much like internal questioning of just like, how could I have let this happen? Um, and that feeling, which I don't honestly really know how to name, is like the core part of Reverie, I think, for me, and that bridge of just being like, oh my God, don't like feel indulged in illusions or fantasies. Like they're so painful, they can be so detrimental. So that's definitely where that came from.
Yeah, wow, that's beautiful. Well, my personal favorite song of you, going way back, the first song and my favorite song of yours that I heard in like 2022 was The Giver. And that song still just like full body chills from the first guitar chord. It's kind of one of those like you got 3 seconds to skip, but you're gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Like you have to choose. And
Yeah.
I really just want to know if you could speak to the version of yourself who wrote that song, what would you say to her? What would you say to young Sarah Kinsley about that
Oh,
song process?
Jesus. I'd be like, leave that man imminently.
Go, go, go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Get out. We gotta go get in the car. No, I don't know. I'm kind of joking. I mean, it's funny to me now because like that is literally the song at my shows, I feel like, where people get real quiet
Yeah.
and you could hear people like literally crying and it's like, oh gosh, this is that's not what I meant. But yeah, I mean, I would probably tell my past self that like honestly there isn't anything I would really truly change. I think like the thing for me that I love most about making art and being involved in art is just that like I worked through so much of that shit that I was going through for me to write that song
Mhm.
through writing it, and I don't think I would have been able to like achieve some sort of stable, peace if I hadn't written it. Like it was kind of a necessary internal word vomit. But yeah, I mean, I yeah, I don't know. I would probably just say like it's really gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, even like it's very weird when you're like even a year or 2 years away from something, and to feel genuine detachment or growth from the situation
Yeah.
is super strange. But yeah, I'd probably just tell myself that like it's literally gonna be fine. So yeah.
I love that answer. I really resonate with everything you just said.
Okay.
But segueing into something different, I know a lot of your musical life and upbringing had to do with classical music.
Hmm.
Would you say that the genre of music still has a big influence on your arrangements and artistry now for Fleeting?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I think that when you grow up with something, like it just sticks with you, it's just a part of you for a long time. I still listen to a ton of classical music. I listen to a lot of like impressionist music, which is like always my favorite sort of subgenre when I was growing up. So it definitely does. I mean, I think Fleeting is like the farthest away I've gone. Like Escaper was much more classically sort of, I don't know, apparent, where like there were lots of strings across the record. There were tons of different instrumentation pieces and stylings that were like, very symphonic. Whereas Fleeting was like very synth heavy. So I feel like the voicing, like the way I use sound, is definitely still inspired by that, but the sounds less so on Fleeting, I would say, than the textures were farther away. But it's definitely still a part of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's so unique, I feel like. I think that's what sets you apart from a lot of other artists these days. So
Oh,
that's
thank you.
beautiful. So going back into some of your past work, your song "I'm Not a Mountain" from your EP, The King, has always resonated with me and so many other listeners.
Thank you.
What does this song mean to you? Thank you for this. Thank you for the song. What does this song mean to you? And also, can fans expect to see this song on the Fleeting Tour set list?
Well, yes, we are playing it on the tour set list. I'll tell you that. It's been so much fun to perform. I haven't played it live in like 3 or 4 years, so it's coming back, which is really lovely. But I mean, yeah, I. What was the first part of your
Sorry,
question?
what does this song mean to you? A little general.
Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I talk about this a lot during the show actually too, which is sweet that we're talking about it now separately. But I wrote that song when I was in such a sort of very sad, very lonely place when I was like I think I had like just turned 20 or I was 19. Like there's somewhere around there. And it's just purely a song about like being alone and questioning if I'm like capable of being a human that can be alone and independent. Um, and it's just a lot of, I don't know, the song is like a lot of doubts. Like each verse is like a new thing within myself that I'm like picking apart, whether it's like my stubbornness or fears, things like that. So it was like the whole song is like this kind of wallowing in like doubt and sadness and shame, and then the chorus of the song like completely changes harmonically, and it's this whole thing that's like, well, I can't do any of these things, and I, and that's actually okay. Like it is actually honestly fine. And it was a very like cathartic song for me to write at the time. I think it was also like really at the height of the pandemic, and so I was just like, as everyone was, but just truly so isolated and alone in a way that was really terrifying. Um, so the song is like, it means, I mean, it conveys a lot of sadness for me, but also is a deeply sort of uplifting song for me to sing because it's like I don't know, like a reclamation for me of a lot of like darkness or sadness that I had in my life that I maybe didn't know how to name at the time.
I love the duality of that. How there's like two so separate different emotions coming together to be
Yeah.
something new and lighter on. But I just want to say congratulations overall for being on your fleeting tour. You're
Oh,
now on the
thank
road
you.
for that. So that being said, more of a fun question. Do you have a pre-show ritual? If yes, what is it?
Kind of depends tour by tour. I used to, I don't know, I used to have to like really like hit different parts of my body to like really wake up because I would get such intense nervousness, but I don't really get nervous anymore. So I'm usually just kind of like sitting and meditating and like I have headphones on and just whatever. Or yeah, just like literally lying down. But it's very calming, everything.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, trying to lighten the mood with these next couple of questions since we kind of got in it with the last ones. But um, you just did a collaboration with Paris Paloma in your song After All. If you
Mhm.
could have any artist featured on your next project, dead or alive, who would you choose?
I love the Cocteau Twins so much. It's ridiculous. So probably them, or just Elizabeth Fraser solo. Um, who else? I was listening to Bjork at a record store the other day. Really incredible stuff. Love her. Or I was listening to Tim Buckley. He would be incredible, although I
Mhm.
think our stylings are a little bit too different, but make it work. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, one of those three.
Yeah, well,
I love all those answers.
thank
Um,
you.
to wrap up, thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything else you would like to tell our audience as a kind of final shout out or any messages?
I mean, nothing crazy, but it's my first time playing in San Diego, so I'm just like I'm
Yay.
excited. I don't really know anything about San Diego, but I'm excited to find out. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, I'm excited. I'll have to walk around before the show.
Yeah, I just
Definitely
got
around
there.
downtown.
Okay, will do.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you see Sarah Kinsley's show at the Music Box in San Diego on April 1st. I know we will. This has been Lily
And Mia.
with KCR College Radio. Bye.
Bye.